And what's very particular about this chair is that when he made this chair, he came up with a technique to bend wood. So what happened was he started this technique of steam bending wood. So prior to this, or even now, steam bending is something that's not very common. And wooden furniture we kind of associate with furniture that has perpendiculars or right angles or wooden sections, not in an organic shape. But this chair kind of changed that notion of people. Now, why is this chair something that's historic? Is that it was made in around 1840s. That's probably 100 years before IKEA even started. And before all of these chairs, designs that came into being were something that were very intricate or very heavy, or chairs that were meant for people of authority, or someone would be in a good position to command other people, and that's why chairs were meant to be. But this chair was the first chair that was made for a public appearance. So it was made for a cafe, like something for the common man, for cafes. And if you see, the lines of wood are very organic, it's very beautifully shaped. So the design language is something that's very modest. Now, what must have he thought as a chair that needs to be designed for a cafe, and why was it such a hit? Was that it's very light to carry. Okay, so you can just pick it up, you can clean up the space, it's very light. It's made up of birch wood, and if you see the seating, it's made up of cane weaving. So if there is any water that's going to fall or any fluid while eating or while cleaning, half of it is going to probably flow off, and then it's easy to clean also with a cloth. Also, if you see, it's got bends these bends at the rear and the front. So these give it additional stability when people are talking or moving around in a restaurant. And since it doesn't have any sharp edges, it's going to allow for free flow of people, right? So this, if you see in design language, this chair is something that would fit in any atmosphere. It's not something that's making a statement, or it could go in any public cafe. This is the process of bending. I'll show you a video regarding this. So if you deconstruct the chair, it's just 6 parts. This is the main hind leg that becomes the back of the chair, a supporting member, 2 front legs, a seat, and a tie member, and 10 screws. So in an area of 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter, 1 cubic meter, you could fit in 36 of these chairs. So, I mean, he started flat pack furniture 100 years before IKEA, and this was something totally new because a common man could afford it. It was cheap, it was lightweight, it was flat pack, and the first mass produced chair as well. I'll take you to the wood bending video.
I'm unable to see the video, just music is playing in the background, and I'm still seeing the flat
Okay.
pack, slide of the presentation.
What I'll do is I'll just minimize the video to a smaller window. Can you see the window now?
No, ma'am.
You can't see it.
Not yet.
Mm, can you see the window now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll just start the video. Back on track again. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So essentially in this video, what happens is wood as that back member is put into a steam chamber and the grains of wood become very flexible and malleable. So what they steam it for about 4 to 5 hours, and once it's removed, in 3 to 4 minutes they have to put it on this metal clamp and then get it into shape. So at that time when this was invented, this was very revolutionary, and this wasn't something that was common. I mean, wooden furniture would never be organic. For us, it's something that's not very new, but this was innovative at that time. And if you see the essence of this chair, it's something that's very simple. It's seen the needs of cafes at those times, and even today, it's like a big hit, right? It sold about 50 million chairs. So that's 5 crore chairs even before 1940. So you could see how powerful a design could be.